It's episode number 1 of 2025. Welcome back to the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. I'm Sam Weiderhaft. It's a brand new year. We've got plenty of things to look forward to in Teal Nation in the coming months. One of those being the progression of the men's basketball team. They just grabbed their first Sunbelt victory of the season and the first of Justin Gray's career. That came over ULM 70-51 last Saturday. On this week's episode, we have one of the big contributors, and I mean big. This guy's a 7-footer and has grown to be one of the most recognizable players on this Coastal team. We're talking with Noah Amenhauser this week as the Chants continue Sunbelt play. Noah right now is second on the team with 10.9 points a game. He's got 11 blocks to go with it and has started every single game but one. In this interview, Noah got into the season so far, why he's wearing that really cool face mask we see now, his NCAA tournament experience last year, and so much more. So let's get into it. Here's my conversation with Noah Amenhauser. It's our first episode of 2025, and to kick off the new year, we're starting with men's basketball, who just got their first Sunbelt win of the season over ULM this past Saturday. And to talk us through it, we're talking with the big man, Noah Amenhauser. Noah, appreciate the time. Congratulations on that first conference win of the season.
Appreciate it, man. I'm so grateful to be here.
How big of a relief was it to get that first Sunbelt win and really in dominating fashion like you guys did?
Coach Gray, his biggest thing is always the first one's going to be the hardest with anything that we do. Whether it's at practice, your first stop, your first score, the first one's always going to be the hardest. And once you get done with that one, everything just kind of piles on. And I mean, you just gain confidence from any win. And so the first win in conference play definitely gives you some confidence going into the rest of the conference.
Yeah, and how big was that for you guys to respond in that ULM game and play so well after, playing well in that Louisiana game but not getting the result you guys wanted to?
I think a lot of guys, we just took it kind of personal. It was man, we let a game slip. And so it's we had to come back and just not do something different, but come back tougher with a different, edge, a different edge, a different chip on our shoulder. We got to get one after letting one slip.
Yeah, and we know how new this team is, obviously, with Justin Gray, the new head coach, and so many new players like yourself coming in. But how have you seen this team just come more together and improve as this year's gone on?
A big thing that I hear in the locker room all the time is this is the most together team that guys have been a part of, which is really cool. We're always going out to eat together, or the locker room conversation. Everyone's always laughing, having a good time in the locker room. There are no heads butting. I feel that's a big issue at times that can really tear a team down, is when you have too many conflicting personalities that butt heads. Everyone really meshes really well together and enjoy each other's presence on and off the court, which is super sweet.
Yeah. How have you felt yourself kind of mesh into this group, coming from Grand Canyon? But how well do you think that you fit in with this group?
I think I bring a different dynamic. I'm kind of the big goofy guy on the team, which I love that role. I'll embrace that every day. But I think I bring just a happy, go lucky kind of attitude. I bring goofiness, just being the big guy that I am. So.
Well, in that Sunbelt opener, you injured your nose very early in that Arkansas State game. So that's caused you to wear a face mask. How much aura does that face mask bring you, man? I think it looks awesome.
I thought it was super cool. I'm not getting hurt obviously isn't super cool, but
right.
The mask is definitely, I put it on the first time. I'm this is not the most most comfortable thing, but I'm I'll wear it because it looks cool.
Yeah,
I definitely feel much cooler wearing it.
It's got the intimidation factor for sure.
No.
And you've scored, 13 points in back-to-back games since wearing the face mask. Just how much have you felt yourself just improve individually as the season's gone on?
I think a lot of improvement is confidence. And I feel the coaches have really poured confidence into me. And it's not just confidence from the coach, but I feel the other guys really trust me a lot. And so I think a big thing with just anything in sports is just how much confidence that people can pour into you. So I'm appreciative of the guys and just the coaches every time I step on the floor, because it's they'll trust me to do what I need to do and be a presence.
Yeah. Looking back at old pictures when you were playing with Grand Canyon, you had the goggles look, right? Because you wear glasses, so you had the goggles look. This year, it's been the face mask after the nose injury, but no goggles this year. Why'd you ditch those?
So coming in, Coach Gray's no, you're going to play a little bit more, which biggest thing. I'm so grateful for that. And so I was the goggles would fog up on me in high school or get knocked off my face. And so I was might be the right time to switch over to contacts.
Yeah. So that was the main decision there.
Yeah.
Contacts, okay. Well, you talk about Justin Gray instilling that confidence in you and telling you, hey, you're gonna play more. At Grand Canyon, you weren't really a starter. You got good playing time, but it wasn't as much as you're getting right now. How much have you felt yourself kind of break loose and just get comfortable with how much you're kind of reaching your potential?
Like at Grand Canyon, I'll always be thankful for my time. A big thing for them was putting on weight and getting back from hurting my knee.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came in real skinny at GCU. They put a lot of weight on me, and I think that was helped boost how I play, because I love playing with my back to basket and just bully ball. And so just that, I'm so thankful for that opportunity, just to have that high level training, just to be really honed and work on my body and my skill there. And then coming here, it's like just the confidence that's instilled and just the trust and just developing my skill more, and then throwing the ball in, trusting me to do what I've been like trained to do, I guess.
Well, one of your biggest skills has been your free throw percentage. It's up to 76% right now, top 10 in the Sun Belt Conference. What's the free throw routine when you get up there?
My dad always told me, look at your feet just to compose your head. So I'd take one dribble, look at my feet, I'll spin the ball, make sure I focus on the basket real quick, posture the ball where I need it, and then release.
How much of perfecting that is, physical repetition in practice, and how much is just mental, kind of getting over those hurdles?
Man, just the physical aspect of it is always just the same thing every time. But the biggest part, like you said, is mental. It's just where you are in the game, what maybe your last couple shots haven't gone in, and it's like, I need to calm myself down and really focus on what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, every time I try to go in with the same confidence of just the same thing every time. And I mean, it's worked out pretty well.
No, it certainly worked out. It's been, a big help for this Coastal team. And you have yourself, I mean, you're an every game starter, over 10 points a game, dominant on the boards and defensively as well. Is this the role that you were expecting when you signed on for this Coastal team?
The only thing I asked for is I went to Coach Gray. I'm like, man, I just want an opportunity. I was like, there wasn't a super big opportunity for me last year. I was like, man, I don't care what happens. I just want a chance to earn what I put out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a big thing is he's like, we'll give you the opportunity. You just have to do what you need to do. And so I think just really that, and instilling like, hey, it's yours if you want it, take it. And so it was kind of like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to dominate and do what I need to do to earn that spot and to earn the confidence and the trust from the players and the coaches. So I think really the mentality of just come in and dominate every day was big for me.
What was that connection like with Coach Gray when you were being recruited to Coastal out of the transfer portal? Why was Coastal and this program and Coach Gray the right fit for you?
So it's kind of a weird connection. So Coach Lightfoot helped recruit me to GCU, and then he left 2 years before I got there.
Okay.
And so when I entered the portal, he was one of the first guys like, hey, like, we'd love to have you out here, whatever. And then I had a player meeting with Coach Gray the other day, and he was saying like, man, we were just going off like Lightfoot's word, because it's like, I really didn't have any film, so I hurt my knee my senior year. I really didn't play a ton last year. So it was like, that building the confidence is like, man, we trusted what Lightfoot said, and we're like, bring you in, and it's like, you've done what you can do, and it's like, we'll trust that every day because you've come in every day and done what you do.
Yeah.
So
I love those connections, when it's like an assistant coach that was somewhere that recruited you earlier, and now they're with a different program. It's so fun to hear about how players make their way to this program. Those first practices here in Conway, every player that we've had on the show, I talk about it, but like the social media back in like June was showing pictures of like 3 people here, and then there were 4 people practicing, and then 5, and then like players just kept coming in. So those first few practices, I mean, how long did it take you to kind of get acclimated to the team and, just get comfortable with the new school?
Man, the team, I think it took us, it wasn't like a quick thing, but I felt like it was fast. Like, I feel like it wasn't like right away the guys were like all together, but it didn't take us long though. I feel like it's kind of a weird way to say it, but like there was not too many clashing personalities. Like everyone was just so happy to be here, and like for a lot of guys it was like the first time coming from like a JUCO or whatever to be in this scenario. And it was like, I think guys were grateful. Like I think everyone on this team is super grateful to be here. Mm-hmm. So I think that really helps out a lot. And then like obviously like the returning guys, Braden and Henry, really helped out, just showing guys around and being kind of like navigators of campus and just Conway and Myrtle Beach and stuff. So
Yeah. You come to Conway from Grand Canyon University, like we talked about, but you had a lot of success. The team was very successful last year, went to the NCAA tournament, went to the second round, won the conference championship, went 30-5, I believe. So just to be a part of a team like that, what kind of experience did it give you, and how much did that year teach you about yourself?
I think the biggest thing in college bat is like learning how to win. And it was like I got to learn how to win really effectively. And so being part of that was super special because like in high school, I mean, I got to play, like I was hurt my junior and senior year. So I never got to like win a state championship or like hit your 1,000th point or whatever, but I got to be a part of history almost in a way of just outright conference championship, tournament champ. Like it was awesome. And I mean, March Madness is an experience like I'll get to tell my kids forever that I got to be a part of that, which is unbelievable. But I think the biggest thing taken away is like learning how to win. I mean, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I mean, what I want to go back to is the injuries in high school, junior and senior year. I mean, you're a 7-footer. You're not hard to find. But when you're not being on the court and, getting that film and getting those stats, how tough was it to kind of get recruited to a place like Grand Canyon?
So I was recruited. So Grand Canyon was kind of like my dream school. My mom went there and like, I was like, I get to continue a family legacy kind of. And like, I'm a big faith-based person. And so they're a big faith-based program, faith-based school. And so I was recruited. I got offered my sophomore year of high school and I had committed before I got hurt. And so it was like, and that's a big testament to how Coach Drew and that the staff is there, is they honored my scholarship even through being hurt 2 times, going through knee surgery and missing 2 years of high school. Like they honored that, which I'm so thankful for. But God had a plan and I committed early enough to where it was like they were going to honor it and really help me through it. Like I went to their surgeon. So I went to their surgeon, their physical therapy. So I had like top-notch training while I was in high school because I was their guy, which was awesome.
Yeah. There's so many athletes that have, injury stories and they've had to battle back from injuries. How hard have you had to work to get through the injuries that you had in high school to get to where you're at right now?
Man, physical therapy. So I had to go through a lot of physical therapy, but I mean, I feel like with the physical therapy and with everything last year, just working on my body, like I said, it was the biggest thing from last year for me. And so, and everyone always says like the mental part of it, but I was always like, my mom is always big and just like I'm a big confidence guy. She's like, you're going to be fine. You're going to like just instilling that confidence of like, you're good. Your knee's going to be fine. So just pouring into me. And it was just the physical aspect was, I think, the hardest part for me is just getting back into the flow of things.
Talking with Coastal big man Noah Amenhauser on the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. Has basketball always been the sport for you?
So I was a 3-sport athlete in high school.
Wow.
My parents said if I wasn't playing a sport, I had to get a job. And I was like, I don't want to get a job.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
So the first season I was a swimmer. I swam 4 events my senior year in high school and state, played basketball, and that was men's volleyball to finish out.
Oh, wow. The swimming thing's really interesting. I mean, I figured that the height would be an advantage, right, for that?
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I mean, it gets you in great shape.
Yeah.
Like, my dad was always like, it was like golf was in the first season. He's like, you better not golf because you're not going to be in shape for basketball. So I was like, well, I'm going to do something that I can excel in because my height, and that would keep me in shape for basketball season.
Yeah. How tall were you in high school? Were you a 7-footer in high school?
Yeah. So my junior and senior year, I've hit 7 foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not every day that I get to talk to a 7-footer, and me and you are on very different ends of the spectrum. You're 7'2", I'm 5'5", so I'm glad that we're sitting down for this interview. But man, what's it like breathing a different air? I mean, you're looking at the tops of people's heads all the time. Like, just tell me what that experience is like for you.
I mean, I've been super tall my entire life, but I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is like, I feel like I'm a very personal like guy. I love talking to people, I love being around people. So I'd rather have people come up and talk to me than stare. That's my biggest thing is I hate when just people are like standing there like, not like, I'd rather you come up and talk to me and just like spend a couple minutes of my day just interacting, meeting somebody new. So, but I mean, it's been my whole life. I was like 6 foot in the 6th grade.
Wow.
And so I've always just been standout. And so, I mean, it's nothing too crazy.
See, my dad always, because we're a short family. That's just what we are. And I was always, there were always kids that played sports that were bigger than I was, and I used to, kind of get discouraged by that. And my dad would say, well, there's advantages to being short. When you get on a flight, you don't have to worry about like being uncomfortable. In cars, you're always going to be comfortable. Like there's advantages to being short. So he always kind of taught me that way. What have been some of the challenges of being so tall and just things that you have to deal with that not everybody has to deal with?
I think finding pants. That's my big.
Pants,
I think I have like 3 pairs of pants that like actually fit me well.
Yeah.
And then car shopping. Like one of my car in high school died out on me.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to go. I sat in like 7 or 8 cars before I found something that fit. But I mean, like flying, everything, like that's just part of it. But car shopping and pants are not fun.
What was the winning car? Which one worked?
I have a Toyota Tundra, so I got a big truck.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's perfect. And I drive a Ford F-150, so we both
go.
drive trucks on very different ends of the spectrum, though. How tall are your parents?
My dad is 6'5". My mom is about 5'10".
Interesting. Okay, so you wouldn't think like 7'2" from that.
And I have a little sister, and she's only like 5'9", 5'10" as well.
Wow.
So I don't know where it came from. But
yeah, something just happened. That's bizarre. You're from Arizona originally, from Goodyear, Arizona. I was talking to you before this, but Arizona's been like my dream retirement place. I love that state. The few times that I've been have been really good experiences. What did you enjoy about living in Arizona?
I love the sunsets is always a big thing that everyone loves. I think the color of the sky just at night and stuff is really cool. I mean, from where I'm from, it's kind of like we're a secluded little town almost. And so like the stars and stuff are always super cool. And I mean, just like the mountains and it's not super green, but like the cactus and just different, like, I feel like it's, like you said, very beautiful place. Just, it's not like trees and stuff, but it's still its own unique beauty, I think.
And there's not a lot of light pollution out there. So you mentioned the stars. I'm sure that you could see like a ton.
That's why the sunsets are so good. The stars it's really beautiful at night. I think just that turning from like the sun down to nighttime is really cool.
Yeah. What are some things that you're doing for fun out in Arizona when you're not playing basketball?
I'm not in Arizona. I love movies. So I go to movie theaters a lot out here and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then like the lakes, jet skis, like we were talking about jet skis. I love the water, like swimming. Yeah. I love being in the water, love being around the water. So out here is perfect. It's like 20 minutes from the beach. So
yeah.
But just jet skiing, the pool, movies, just.
Are you more of a beach guy or a lake guy?
I think now living here, I think I'm more of a beach guy. I like just a lake's very calm when you first get there. I like kind of like the waves and just the sound of it and just. Mm-hmm. Like when we were here in the summer and we had some downtime, I would try to go on the beach in the mornings and just watch the sunrise with the sound of the waves and stuff. I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah. You've been converted.
Yeah. In a short time, too. It took me no time to be converted.
Seriously, man. Yeah, 100%. Noah, we'll just close this out here with, we're right in the heat of conference play now as we flip the calendar over to 2025. But what are you expecting out of yourself here in the middle of conference play as the season continues?
Consistency. I think my word for this year is going to be consistency. I just want to stay consistent in the routines I have for game day and just how I play, the mental state I'm in, just how I can help guys on and off the court, just being super consistent in my role on and off the court as a person and as a player. So I think consistency for me is going to be big.
Well, no, I appreciate the time, man. This was awesome. Thanks for coming on and telling us about the 7-foot life, and good luck the rest of the season.
I appreciate you, sir.
A great time talking with Noah this week. He helped me get back into the groove of doing our weekly interviews after the holiday season. So now let's talk about what the men's basketball team has coming up. They already played this week and fell to App State on the road on Wednesday, 74-51. They'll be in Atlanta on Saturday, taking on Georgia State at 4 o'clock to try and get back on track. It'll be on ESPN+. The Chants are currently 8-8 and 1-3 in Sun Belt play. The women's team continues to make waves. They're coming off a tight 80-77 win over ODU on the road on Wednesday. They had 4 players reach double figures, with Savannah Brooks and Alancia Ramsey each hitting 17 points. Mallory Bruce added 15, and Kristen Williams poured in 13. Coastal is now 3-1 in conference and 12-2 overall. They've got a big matchup with App State on Saturday, who is undefeated in conference play right now. That game will be at 3:30 on ESPN+. Coming off our episode with Kevin Schnall, the baseball team has already gotten some preseason love with a ranking of 23 by Perfect Game in their preseason poll. Caden Bodine was also named a Perfect Game preseason second-team All-American to go with it. So the hype train is starting to pull away from the station at Springsbrook Stadium. And on the football side of things, the coolest thing we've seen so far in the offseason, 10 is back. Former quarterback Grayson McCall has been hired as an offensive analyst for the Chanticleers closely after Drew Hollingshed was hired as the offensive coordinator. So Teal Nation is extremely excited to have Grayson back in Conway, and I'm sure he'll be a big help to the offense this year. That will do it for our first episode of 2025. Thank you to Noah once again for giving us a little info on what it's like to be 7-2. Certainly looking forward to watching him continue to progress this season. Thank you to Revolution Mortgage as well for being a great partner of the Chant Pod. We'll see you next week. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. Chant's up.